Hi, I'm EJ Bastes and I'm going to be talking the continuation of the financial freedom pyramid, and I'll be discussing three of the most important parts, which is growth, high risk, and living on interest. Alright, so pag-usapan muna natin ang growth. So ano po yung growth? Growth specifically is a stage ng financial freedom pyramid na sabi nga nila, it's where the stage that you make money while you sleep. So it's also a stage na we put our money or nag-i-invest tayo sa mga assets or investments na nagpapalago to hedge our money against inflation. Inflation, ibig sabihin ito yung pagtaas ng mga presyo ng mga bilihin. So sabihin na natin, around 4% ang inflation sa Pilipinas. So if you put your money on an asset that grows above 4%, let's say 5 or more, that's what you call growth. So ano ba yung mga halimbawa ng growth or investment na to, no? Unang-una dyan is yung mga high yield savings account. So yan yung mga inilalagay natin sa bangko, tapos tumutubo on a certain times, gaya ng time deposit, or kasama na rin dito yung mga high yield savings account natin from digital banks, or any account na provided by any institution na mas mataas yung kinikita kaysa mga regular savings or ATM account. Next is tinatawag na bonds. So pag sinabing bonds, ito yung mga utang or debt investment na ginagamit ng either government na tinatawag na government bonds or kumpanya or corporate bonds. So basically bonds, how it works is the government or a corporate builds a specific project, tapos kinukuha nila yung pera or nagpapa-invest sila sa public to build that project. So in return, nagbibigay sila ng interest or dividends sa mga tao nag-invest nito. Sunod naman na kind of investment or growth is tinatawag na government savings program. I'm sure ikaw, familiar ka na nito at narinig mo na rin to. Unang-una dito is what we call your SSS. Lagi din natin naririnig itong tinatawag na MP2 Pag-ibig or any retirement and savings program ng gobyerno. These kind of investment or asset are actually pretty good simply because nandyan yung government to manage and guarantee some of its returns. Then number 4, we have also what we call your mutual fund, UITF, ETF, and your VULs. So basically, ano ba yung similarities ng mutual fund, UITF, ETF, and VUL? So these things or assets are actually invested or ini-invest sa asset na tinatawag na stock market. So if you're not familiar, stock market, ito yung mga kumpanya na nasa public, just like Jollibee, San Miguel, Ayala, and all of these companies na naglalagay tayo ng pera or ni-invest natin. Then eventually, tumataas yung presyo dahil sa pag-grow ng company or maybe binibigyan tayo ng cash dividends in return. And pag sinabing mutual funds, UITF or Unit Investment Trust Funds, or ETF or Exchange Traded Funds, or VUL, ibig sabihin nun is they're actually invested on blue chip and long-term companies in the stock market. So even though sometimes people tell no na medyo high risk ang stock market, tama din naman. However, if naka-mutual fund siya or naka-VUL siya or naka-package siya, it forms a diversification na hindi lang isang stock or kumpanya ang nabili mo, but multiple investment or multiple stocks ang nabili ng isang client, even though with a low amount of money. So that creates diversification, lowering the risk, but also increasing the return of the asset. So ito yung mga halimbawa ng mga investment or assets that are in the growth section ng ating financial freedom pyramid. And the nature of this kind of investment are medyo long-term siya, at saka mababa lang din yung risk niya. And the key here as well is it's actually growing above your inflation. And really, having an importance in growth area is very important in building your financial freedom pyramid simply because ito yung magbibigay sa'yo ng multiplier effect because of compounding interest. In short, ito yung nagpapalaki talaga ng pera mo. Pero at the same time, hindi siya ganun ka-risky na hindi nasusunog lahat ng pinaghirapan mo. But most of the time, these type of investment are long-term and at the same time, diversified. So make sure in your financial freedom pyramid is nakapag-allot ka or nakapag-allocate ka ng malaking portion sa growth or low-risk growth ng financial freedom pyramid mo. So in contrast to the low risk or growth, we also have a stage or part of your financial pyramid which is tinatawag na high risk. By the word itself, no, pag sinabing high risk, mataas yung kita, mataas din yung possible na lugi. And most of the time, tayo or most of the people that we know, they go into high risk agad without really knowing yung consequences ng assets or investment na to. But Coach EJ, kasama ba ang high risk sa ating financial freedom pyramid? Yes, kasama siya. Pero ang high risk is nasa taas na ng pyramid simply because ito ang binibigyan natin ng allocation or binibigyan natin importance pag na-build na natin ng maayos yung mga lower stages or area natin sa pyramid, just like your foundation, your growth, then tsaka na yung high risk. And at the same time, hindi din ganun kalaki yung nilalagay mong capital or allocation budget. Simply because high risk nga siya. Ibig sabihin, pag nilakihan mo, tapos pumalpak yan, ubos yung allocation or budget mo. Pero magandang bagay naman, pag pumalo yan, even though maliit lang yung allocation mo dyan, it could actually give you a higher return that can help you grow your financial freedom pyramid more and more. So in short, bakit ba siya tinawag na high risk? Aside sa sinabi ko kanina na pwede ka malugi. Because of the factors na number one is what we call your volatility. Ibig sabihin, yung prices ng mga asset na to ay masyadong mabilis umakyat at saka masyado ring mabilis bumaba. It's actually difficult to time this kind of assets. Meron ding tinatawag na liquidity. Ibig sabihin yung difficulty mo na pag-withdraw ng iyong investment or asset simply because kailangan meron munang buyer na bumili before mo siya maliquidate. And third is any unpredictability ng market na, yes, investment wala namang guarantee dyan, but having an high-risk asset is medyo mataas yung unpredictability niya at saka risk because that compensates the return that you actually get from those assets. So ano ba yung mga halimbawa ng mga high-risk assets or investments? Unahin na natin dyan. I know you're very familiar, business, di ba? So Coach EJ, bakit pa high risk yung business? Oo naman, di ba? High risk talaga yan. Kasi kung hindi high risk yan, lahat na lang yumaman sa business according to statistics. Di ba, the first 5 to 10 years, 5 out of 10 businesses nagsasara. Then another 5 to 10 years, another half of it nagsasara dahil hindi talaga madaling magnegosyo. So having a business is considered actually high risk. Any type of business, either it could be sometimes franchising, especially traditional business, maliit or malaki, is high risk in nature. Number two is actually trading. Naririnig natin yan, nakita natin sa social media, marami nagpo-post about their trading accounts. Trading is really high risk, no? Simply because in trading kasi, you kind of speculate where the asset will be going. Siyempre, at the end of the day, hindi mo naman control ang market. So, pwede kang malugi. Depending na lang dito sa risk management mo. And either you trade stocks, you trade forex, or you trade crypto, regardless of what kind of pair or asset you trade, high risk talaga siya. Third, another example of a high risk asset is real estate. Coach EJ, grabe ang real estate. High risk ba yan? Oo naman. Bakit siya high risk? Simply because, number one, wala namang real estate na mura. Ibig sabihin you're gonna allocate a really bigger budget to start your real estate asset, diba? So, syempre, pag pumalpak ka dyan, malaki na invest mo, malaki din masusunog mo. Number two, liquidity. Hindi lahat ng real estate ay nabibenta agad. Merong ibang real estate na nabibenta nila ng mas mura or at discounted price simply because walang bumibili or walang buyer. So, real estate, I really believe that's one of the best investment available out there. But, for me, it's still high risk. So, in short, these kind of assets, malaki yung pwede mong kitain, but malaki yung pwede mong malugi pag ikaw ay nagkamali. So, in short, for me, what I consider high risk as well is anything lang na hindi mo masyadong naiintindihan. And this is important for you to understand simply because maraming tao na nag-i-invest, nalulugi, naubos ang pera because hindi nila alam ano yung pinapasok nila. And by you understanding if it's growth, low risk, or high risk man yan, would give you an idea if how much allocation or time or energy ang kailangan mong i-spend dyan para kumita ka ng maayos or at least man lang hindi masulog or maubos yung pera mo. And by understanding itong growth, high risk, magkakaroon ka ng better view of building your financial freedom pyramid. And once maayos ang financial freedom pyramid mo, syempre less likely ang lugi, less likely ang emergencies, less likely ang pagkasira ng finances mo in spite and despite of all emergency that's happening into your financial life. Then now, last but not the least, ang part ng iyong financial freedom pyramid after you build your security, after you build your growth, after you build your high risk is what you call your LOI or living on interest. And this is a stage of your financial freedom pyramid na nakuha mo na lahat, no? Ang gusto mong kitaan, ang gusto mong buhay, ang dream life mo. Kaya siya sinasabing living on interest. Maybe because ang growth or kita na natatanggap mo because of your financial freedom pyramid ay enough or more than enough to help you live month on month more than your expenses. So ngayon, technically, pwede ka nang hindi mag-work or hindi magtrabaho or hindi mag-business simply because nakukuha mo naman kada buwan or more than pa yung kailangan mong living expenses because you actually got that from your assets that's actually giving you that return. So, syempre, last na talaga yung living on interest sa iyong pyramid because ito na yung part na na-establish mo na lahat. So, pag once na-establish mo na mga each stages or areas ng inyong financial freedom pyramid, that's the time na you actually in your financial freedom. And, syempre, because of that, wala ka na ding worry, wala ka na ding stress, and you're actually at the level of your highest peace of mind. So hopefully naintindihan mo itong financial freedom pyramid and ma-apply mo to sa buhay mo. At ito yung concept natin why we teach this to people and the value that we give to our clients para maging maayos yung buhay financial nila.